Deb from Hinman Holistic Health Institute, and today I'm going to be sharing a process that I've learned from one of my mentors, Fabian Fredrickson, for making important decisions. And we're going to go through 5 steps to make any decision, anything that's really meaningful and important in your life, whether it be something related to finances, a career switch, something related to your health or the health of a child, something related to another relationship situation, right? Whether there's conflict or difficulty, strain in a relationship, and how you move forward with that. Oftentimes, it's difficult to take action, and when we find ourselves in a place of where we're kind of feeling stuck or not certain on what action to take, these 5 steps that I'm going to take you through have been so beneficial for Mike and I and many others that we know for making important decisions. So these, like I said, can be applied to anything. Today's example, I'm going to kind of use it to the case that is most common with our clients, and that's making a decision to invest in a program that's going to help support their child's health and happiness and healing. So the first step in making any decision is to be very clear on the goals, right? So in order to know if something's going to be a right fit for you, and if you're going to be interested in making this decision, you have to know, what are the goals? What do I want? Where am I trying to get to? What growth opportunity is there available? And then analyze that decision or analyze that opportunity and say, well, does this opportunity meet the goals that I'm seeking, right? So, for example, for your child's health and happiness, does this investment in this program, does this coaching and support provide the opportunity for me to improve my child's health, provide the opportunity for us to have stronger connections and relations in our family? Does it have all of the things that it has worked for others and can work for us too? Is it meeting the goals of where I want to go in the future? If the answer is yes, then that's a good indication to keep looking further. Second is to calculate your ROI. Calculate, help me spell here, calculate your return on investment. And this is really important because, like anything, any decision or any change in action is going to require either financial resources or extra time and energy, and you want to calculate what that's going to be. Is it going to be worthwhile, right? You're definitely not going to go into something that's not going to provide a net gain, let alone, for me, I think everything has to be at least 2 times worth the value and the time and the energy and the investment that I'm going to put forth. So a lot of people want a 6% return on the stock market. No, I'm not happy unless I believe I can get at least a 200% return, double the amount that I invest into any program or decision or opportunity to come back to me. And the reality is, if I see that there is a way that it can happen, I know that I'm willing to make it happen. I will always bet on myself, and I would encourage you to have the same. If there is a possibility in the outcome and you are willing to do it, then know that you can maximize the goals and the objectives that you want to achieve. So calculate what that would be. Let's say, I'm going to give an example of, let's say you're going to debate about having your child participate in a club soccer league, right? So maybe for the year that's going to be a $1,000 or $1,500 investment. That's a pretty big investment, plus a lot of time and energy that you're going to have driving to practices and stuff. So you want to stop and think about, well, what is that return on that investment? How much growth, how much happiness, how many opportunities can my child receive as a result of our decision to invest in this opportunity? Same thing when it comes to health and happiness. What is the cost? What is the time commitment? And I know that I'm going to give my best. I know that I'm going to show up. So when I do that, what am I willing to gain after that, for the 1 month, 6 months, 3 years, 10 years after that? And if your return on investment, I say, is at least double, then you're in a good place. But if it's less than that, take it off the table. Okay, step 3 to calculate is to consider the alternatives. Consider alternatives. There we go, kind of fit it up there. So consider the alternatives, right? What if I were to make this choice? What if I were to take advantage of this opportunity? Where can I be? How will our lives change? How will they improve? What would be different? Consider what that would look like and how that can affect not only you, but your children and your whole entire family. And then consider the reverse, right? So what if I don't take this opportunity? What if I'm right exactly where I am today, 1 year from today? Will I be happy with that? Or will I be really disappointed that we're not moving in a direction that I wanted to be? What happens if we don't take this change in our child's health? What happens if things get worse or escalate? What is the alternative? What is the cost? And whenever that cost of not taking action becomes more detrimental than taking action, that's an easy way to seamlessly move forward and do something. Because when you really stop and think about, well, what if things don't change? Or what if more, I've talked about before, usually when it comes to health, you're either moving in a step forward or a step backwards. You're not really staying neutral because time is passing and it's either in one direction or the other. So think about, is this going to be something that is moving me towards my goals or something that is moving us further away from our goals? So consider all of those alternatives. And then this fourth part is so important. Consult your intuition. So, did you know that all of us have two voices inside of us? We have one voice in our heart that is quiet and calm, patient, and usually very soft. And that's the one that can kind of encourage you and tell you, you can do this. You got this. It's going to be okay. And then we have another voice in our head that's very loud and critical. And that says, who do you think you are? You've tried this before. That never works. This is the voice that many of us in society tend to listen to because it's loud and you can't miss it. You can't forget the voice in your head, right? But I'm going to encourage you to stop and pause. Put a pause button on the loud, critical voice that you hear in your head and listen quietly for that softer, internal, calm voice that comes from your heart. And if this decision or this opportunity is something that does not resonate in your heart, you will know it. And then that absolutely means it's not the right place or time or decision for you. No harm, no foul. You will be certain. But if that voice in your heart, that calm, quiet whisper that kind of keeps coming up but is very minimal, is telling you, you know what? This actually could be a great opportunity. This could get us to a new place of where we really want to go. Then I'm going to encourage you to tune out that loud voice, turn down the volume on the head, and follow your intuition, because your intuition will never lead you astray. And that's kind of a hard thing to do sometimes, because you got this loud thing. It's like a toddler having a temper tantrum. It's hard to tune it out, right? You can't miss it. But when we can put the pause button on and tune into that softer voice, that's where your intuition comes through strong. So always consult your intuition before making any decision, especially an important decision. And then step 5 is to trust yourself. And this is really it. Because the only person that always has your best interest at heart is you. And you always have the best interest of not only yourself, but your children and your family. So you are the person that you should trust. Oftentimes we turn over this trust and put it on other experts or specialists or doctors, and I'm not saying there's any fault in the intention there, but you have to trust yourself. You have to listen for this inner voice and hear what is coming through to trust you. I always say bet on yourself every single time. If you reflect back over your life and look at decisions you've made, opportunities you've had, successes and failures, I guarantee you every single thing that has been successful that you have really followed through, that has been from your heart, has come because you have trusted yourself. There's a saying that goes, how you do anything is how you do everything. And when you can apply these 5 intentional, thoughtful steps to making a decision, you know that you're not making a rash decision. You're not going to end up in a place that's going to harm you or be detrimental. You're being thoughtful and intentional, and you're taking it step by step to calculate and to figure out what is going to work for you. So in the case of investing in your child's health and happiness, really taking those steps to say, well, does this resonate with me? Can I trust myself? Am I going to listen to that softer voice? What is the alternative? What happens if we don't take action and we don't do anything? Where could we be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now? What is the return potential? If I were to make this investment now, what can be possible to be gained in the future? If that's something that, again, my standard is got to be at least 2 times return on investment. And if it's not at least 2 times return on investment, then you may want to take a harder look at it. But if it is, that's a no-brainer. And really be clear on your goals, what it is that you want for your future, for your family, for your children. And when you know that, it's the first step in the process. So I hope this information was valuable for you, and I would encourage you to apply this anytime you're making an important decision. Anytime where you're kind of feeling gut-wrenched because you can't decide which way to go or how to approach it, this process will help you figure out what is going to resonate inside. And let us know your thoughts. We want to hear feedback. We want to hear what have been some challenging decisions that you've made, positive and negative, maybe ones that you regret, things that you've done that you took that leap and it worked out for the better. And like I said, just respond back to the blog, let us know your feedback, your thoughts, and allow these 5 steps to carry you through to new growth and new opportunities in your life. Thank you.